Hey YouTube fam bam, it has been a minute, hasn't it? It has been so long since I have last uploaded a video and I have missed it so much. It's not because I haven't not uploaded a video because I've like given up on YouTube or I don't want to do YouTube. It's just honestly, I'm in grad school, I work 3 jobs, I'm a teacher during the day, I teach English to Chinese kids before I actually go to my regular job, and then I do liquor marketing at night. And when you're doing too much, something's gotta go, and unfortunately that was YouTube for a minute. Like, I just didn't have enough time or energy to film, and you know, it just is what it is. Really, there hasn't been all that much that has changed since the last time I've probably vlogged. I am still like doing way too damn much. I am still, you know, crazy as I'll ever. But something that I'm doing, see, when I'm turning, I'm holding the camera, or my phone I should say. I'm holding my phone while I'm driving, and I drive a stick shift car, so it's like when I turn, I have to like, you know, turn the wheel and then downshift, and it's just kind of like hard, so forgive me. Gosh, I say too much, but I'm doing something kind of special today. My girlfriend is getting married, and I'm so excited. She invited me to go wedding dress shopping, and I am a person that I love that shit. Like, I don't personally like it to me, like when it's happening to me, like when I was getting married, I don't like that pressure. It's too much pressure, but other people and spending their money, totally different. I'm all for it. Seriously though, I am so excited. She's having just like a small little wedding, so there's no bridal party or anything. But she did ask like a few of her like good friends to come with her on this journey with her. This is her second marriage, so she's already had all that the first time around. I told her though, I'm like, girl, that was a long time ago now. That was like, you know, almost a decade ago with your first one. And if you feel like having, you know, a wedding, like, you deserve it. I think a lot of times people that are going through like their second feel like, oh, I've already done it before. You know, I don't deserve to have like girls like buy another dress for another, you know, bridal party. I don't deserve like the whole like 9 yard, the whole like kit and caboodle. But yeah, you do. You do. You know, life happens. You know, if every time we said, oh, I already had a similar experience, I'm not gonna do this again, you know, we'd never buy a new car. We would never move forward with our life, right? I do agree weddings are ridiculously expensive. You can start off saying, oh, I'm just gonna have like a small like little thing, and then the next thing you fucking know, you're having like a mariachi band, a live wedding painter person making a canvas live. Then you have like, it's extreme really fast. It's like, maybe not as extreme as like the picture I'm painting, but you know what I mean? Like, oh, I just want something small, but then the next thing you know, you start inviting too many people, and then you're like, oh, you know what, I saw this really cool thing on Pinterest, let me do it. And this relatively simple thing that you saw on Pinterest now costs you an extra $1,000 because they forgot to tell you that, oh yeah, it only works if you buy this kind of material with this, and oh, you're gonna do it the DIY flowers. Okay, that sounds like a great idea. And you want the silk flowers that, like, you know, I had them at my wedding, they were gorgeous, but those are expensive. Like, nobody tells you, like, oh yeah, do it yourself. A lot of people think like, you know, do it yourself kind of like things are cheap, but they're not. Like, go to a fucking craft store and Jesus Christ, like, you know, it's like robbing the cradle, you know? Not robbing the cradle, it's like fucking you in the ass is like what it is. Sorry, I should, don't listen to me. I'm being like crazy, but you know, that's one thing. Like, if you're gonna like I had gotten a blanket for Christmas, right? And I've gotten blankets several times actually for Christmas because I'm a hard person to shop for. I'm very like particular, right? And I had like my husband go, oh, that's kind of like a cheap gift. I'm like, well, no, actually, it probably cost them like at least like 30 or more bucks to make a blanket, because like fleece is expensive, that's expensive, putting it together. It's not like, you know, cheap. It's not cheap. Like, you might as well, see, that's the other problem too, with like, and then we get into like the whole economic thing, but it's, you know, like back then, it was more economical to make clothes or to buy, make things, right? Or like, if you had a vacuum cleaner, people went to a person that knew how to fix their current vacuum. They knew how to fix it, and it was cheaper to like get your vacuum fixed than it is to like buy a new vacuum. Well, going forward, now that like we have like other countries and everything else like making products, you can buy a pair of jeans for $10. You don't need to make your own clothes. You don't need to like, you can go into Ross and spend $7 on a brand new shirt. You don't necessarily need to make yours. Or a vacuum is a couple $100, or you're gonna pay $100 and whatever plus parts to get your vacuum fixed, or are you just gonna go out and buy a new one after 3 years? My vote is you just buy a new one, and then that causes a lot of waste. But I'm digressing, and you know, we don't need a lesson, right? We don't need, I have to get off my soapbox. But I'm currently on my way, like I said, to go dress shopping for my friend. I'm super excited. There's a lot of things that are kind of going on in the background that I can't talk about right now until it happens or doesn't happen. Let's see, what else? My car has almost 160,000 miles on it. I think I've said it has 160, but it's like been really close for some time. Like it's like right there. It's gonna happen probably this week. So with that being said, I started that process at looking at new cars. And you guys know I love a manual car. I love me a manual car. I love it, I love it, I love it. Unfortunately, society, well, American society, we don't really have a plethora of manual transmission cars. Unless you're talking like at the bottom end, like a Kia Soul or like a Honda Civic, that is like, you know, like the bottom tier of cars. Not saying that if you have a Kia Soul, because that's what I drive, or like a Civic, which my husband drives, like you can upgrade them, but like they start really low. Like they're not like the Accord or whatever Kia has, you know. So it's like they're starting models. Maybe a Fit would go, I think a Honda Fit goes below a Civic, but you guys get what I'm saying, right? So with my car, it's hard to find a stick unless you're driving like a sport car, or you have like the lowest, like one of the lower end models of a particular brand car. And then when it does come in like a lower end brand car, like a Kia Soul, which is like, you know, an affordable economic car, you don't get usually like the upgraded luxury. Like you're never going to get the sunroof. You're never going to get, like 2012 was the last year that they offered like the bigger engine for a manual car. You're just not going to get like the heated seats. You're not going to get the extras. You just get the bare basics, which is fine if that's what you want. But my next car, I do want more of the luxury and pieces that like I don't typically have, like I don't have in this car. Like it would be really nice to have heated seats or the rear backup camera. Excuse me 1 second while I put you guys down. Will I make a turn so I can shift? How do you like that? How did you like that? So I'm trying to drive, and of course she picks the bridal shop that is like an hour away from everybody else, instead of the one, she lives the farthest out, which I totally get. She's the bride. Ultimately, that bitch can do whatever she wants. She's the bride. I get it. Like, we all have to suck her dick for right now. But she did put this all the way fucking far when there's a shop that would have been like closer for all the other girls to have went to. At the end of the day, it's her day. I don't care. I'll drive to the fucking moon for this bitch. You know what I'm saying? But Anyway, I was talking about cars. That's what I like to talk about. So my next car, I want it to have more of like the luxury end things. Like I want the backup camera, heated seats. I wouldn't even mind like the lane control, like where if you are drunk driving, it kind of stays in your lane. Not that and that's the thing, you guys. Like, you guys should know, I talk a lot. I don't drunk drive. I'm not even a drinker, really. I'm not. I don't do drugs, but I make a lot of stupid references for, I don't even know why. I just do it. Just comes out of my mouth. I got diarrhea of the mouth. Ferrari engine for a brain with bicycle pedal for brakes. That's what this channel should be called. A Ferrari engine for a brain with bicycle pedals for brakes. Love it. Anyways, so I like the lane control. There's certain things I like about, if I'm gonna get and I want an SUV. So if I do get an SUV, I want it to have certain features. The problem is, I don't really care for any of the models I have currently seen. Like, if I buy a brand new car, I have to stay within a certain budget. I am not a person that can just like go out and buy the Audi Q8 or whatever, Q7? I think it's Q7? Yeah, Q7. I can't go out. I'm not gonna buy a brand new car, at $100,000 or $80,000. Hell to the no. I wouldn't do that if I had all the money. I wouldn't do that even now. And then we could go out and buy one if we really, 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 really wanted one. No fucking way. I'd rather like put that money towards my house and get it paid off faster. That's just me. I don't have a buttload of kids either. A boatload of kids either to be hauling around. And also the thing with like Audi and all these other cars is that you spend $80,000 and then 3 years later they're worth like $20,000 or $30,000. It just depends on what level you're at. So, and I'm gonna stay away, I think, from German cars, just because like once you need parts, they're a lot more expensive and they're a lot more of like a particular car to maintain. I checked out Jeeps and I thought they were really slow. Like I was test driving them. I think the Grand Cherokee, and it's a 9-speed car, it's slow. Like the pickup is slow. Everything about it was slow to me. Yes, I know they just came out with like turbo. I think it's like what? I'm not putting you guys back down. Give me 1 second. I apologize. I'm turning again. But I think what is it? A turbo V6 or is it a V8? I don't even know. I should have had a V8. Sorry. Maybe I really don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me for car advice. I'm just telling you. But so they came out with the new turbo for Jeep, which in 2016 Honda did the same thing. And the problem with like having the first one, obviously there's like kinks and things to be worked out, and it didn't really make it, in my opinion, all that much. Like, excuse me, there's a cop and I get freaked out when I see those cops. Even though my brother's a police officer and my husband works very closely related to the law, it just freaks me out when I'm like holding my phone and like, I don't really think that counts as like hands-free, especially like, as I'm driving a stick. So I'm just gonna keep talking, but I felt like it was slow, and being that it's the first year for turbo and all of that, I don't want to have the first year of turbo and not really know what to expect, and people don't really know what to expect. And I don't think it was really, I asked the guy, I'm like, the sales guy who didn't even know what Freon was, okay? I asked him like, oh, so what can it do like in a quarter mile? And he had no idea. And I'm like, so how fast does this turbo go? Like, does it make a huge difference? Like what's the benefits? And he really couldn't, like, I think he was like intimidated, because I'm a good bullshitter. At the end of the day, like, I'm good at bullshitting, and either he didn't want to deal with me because he thought I was an idiot, or probably because he just like didn't really want to like mess with the bullshitter, didn't know how much I really knew or didn't. But I thought it was slow. It was like no pickup. And I get with companies right now, they're starting to make these like gears, like, so my car is a 6-speed car, right? So if I'm in first gear, I'm getting about, before I'm shifting, like 15 miles per hour, then I go to gear 2, and then once I'm hitting it, like right now, I'm in 6th gear, but I'm going 40 miles an hour. Now I'm gonna shift to 5th, so I'm at 5th gear doing 40. But you see, like, you have to hit a certain speed marker before you can shift. So now I'm like dropping even more, so now I'm down at 4. So my point is when you have 9 gears, you're gonna be probably in gear 9 when you're at like 50 miles an hour, 60, which in most American places where you're driving, you know, that's like, you're gonna be in that high gear. The more gears that your car has to like hit, the slower it's going to be. But they do that because it does save a lot in gas. I hope I'm explaining this right, and if I'm wrong, like, feel free to correct me. And if you're really bored, I'm sorry. It's just these are my thoughts right now. So I felt that the car was really slow, and then the Grand Cherokee does not get really good gas mileage. It's bigger. I like the size. I like kind of the aesthetic of it, but practicality wise, really wasn't my thing. And they're quite expensive for a brand new one. Sure, I could buy a few-year-old Jeep, but here again, he was like, oh, look at this Jeep was like $55,000 last year. It has like, what was it, like not even like 7,000 miles on it, and we want 30,000 out the door. And I'm like, damn, it really took a huge hit, and it had like all the bells and whistles on it. That freaks me out too. I get it, like these cars and stuff, like you're not going to, you know, you take a big hit in the first 2 years of a car. I get that. But when you go from like 50 to like 20 or 30 in like a matter of a year, that's scary to me. I just sounds like highway robbery to me, at least. And so I drove the Honda CR-V back last year, like a year ago. Was it a year ago already? But I drove it and I wasn't impressed with it. Again, it was a little slow. Again, I thought the interior was very plastic. I wasn't digging it. Was not digging it at all. No, sir. So, but it was decent gas mileage, but I felt like it wasn't really as big as I thought it was going to be on the inside. And again, like, I don't have kids. I don't have, you know, it's just me. And I think what I like about it, like my mind with an SUV, is like the room. Like the Kia Soul, I have a 2012. I have a lot of room. I have fit a washing machine back here. I have fit a dishwasher back here. I've had tons of room, and I feel like I have tons of space. Like I'm not all up in someone's like business if they're in my passenger side. And the gas mileage is pretty good. A lot of these SUVs, I feel almost kind of like, I don't know if it's because it's like they're bubbled or what, if I'm like used to having like the square now or what, but I feel like a lot of these SUVs, I almost feel like I'm in like kind of a stretched out sedan. Like if you were to take a motorcycle and stretch it, that's how I feel about these like cars. I'm like, ooh. And like the Civic, also the Honda CR-V has the same exact engine as the Honda Civic. Now it's a bigger car with a Civic engine, so of course, in my opinion and from my experience, it is a slower car. You're not gonna race, obviously. You're not trying to get a race car, but I also don't want to like, I want to be a defensive driver too, and I like having a nice little pickup. And of course, if you upgrade to like a V6 engine or a turbo engine, or I think it's what, V8, V12 engine. Sorry, I'm a little rusty there. Then you're talking more gas, and for what? So I don't know. So my point is I started the process of looking at cars. I'm interested to see about the Toyota with the hybrid, because I'm interested in that. I'm not really sure. I'm sure it's gonna feel slow because it's a hybrid. That's kind of like maybe what I've assumed, and maybe that's what a lot of people would assume, but it'd be interesting to see like the inside of it, and just to see like that feel. Sorry if you can hear bottles clinking. It's bottles clinking back there in my back seat. 1 second, putting you guys down again. Oh, shoot, come on. I know I swear a lot in this vlog, but that's just kind of my style in general. I try to tone it down for YouTube. If you don't like swearing, sorry. Not really. I'm not sorry. Like, that's just me. Like, I grew up in the Osborne house, so, like, it is what it is. I think I'm here. So, I'm, like, just, like, looking, keeping my options open. I also want to have, like, more of a luxury end car. I'm not talking, like, I don't need an Audi and I don't need a Porsche, but it would be really, really nice to be able to have a decent, like, car that I don't feel like, with my Kia at least, I feel like my Kia Soul, and maybe it's because I heard American Dad make this joke, but it's so true. I feel like with my car, oh my gosh, I'm late for my job at the Dairy Queen. Like, that's how it feels. So, but I'm here, you guys. I will talk with you later. Bye.